Hello, hello.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
What time is it in your country?
What time is it in my country? In my country, it's midday.
Midday?
What time is it in your country?
7:43 a.m.
PM.
PM.
Okay. So it's in the evening. Have you had your dinner already?
Oh, yes.
What did you eat?
I ate rice and noodle and I will send you a picture.
Okay.
I don't know what to say.
All right, no problem. So I see that you have selected a very interesting lesson. So shall we start?
Where is it? Where is it?
So today the lesson is going to be whose wife had triplets. Can you repeat after me?
Okay.
So is the man whose wife had triplets. Can you repeat this sentence, please?
Okay.
Is the man whose wife had triplets.
He is a wife. He has triplets.
Well done. Very good. So now let's move on to the next page where you have your today's goals. Please read your today's goals.
Okay.
Are you done?
You're so done. It's on dawn.
So today's phrases. Let me introduce you to today's phrases. I want you to repeat
My
after me.
phrases and my name.
Okay? Who is Mr. Johnson?
Who is Mr. Johnson?
He is the man whose wife had triplets last week.
Oh.
Can you repeat after me? He's the man whose wife had triplets last week.
He is a man whose wife had triplets last week.
Okay, well done, very good. Now, let's move on to the next page where we have the new words and expressions. So we will learn some new words. Please repeat the word after me. The word is robbed.
Robbed.
Let me play.
Robbed.
Robbed. He's the man whose bank was robbed.
He's the man who was bank was robbed. Yeah, slowly that
And robbed, it means to take money or property from somebody. Read the definition. Okay.
Definition? Oh. Definition. What does it mean, definition? What does it mean?
The word.
Definition.
Means the meaning of the word.
The meaning of the word.
What was the meaning of the word? So the
meaning of
robbed is to take money and property from
Yeah.
someone.
パークステーションは絶対ね、遠すぎる。逆に違うとこ行っちゃうから、一番料金低いやつを選ぶから、フードステーションは250円、ウォーターステーションは、一緒やな。変だ。ウォーターステーションやな、これは。多分。いや、まあ解けた。このまま丸付けして。このカップ。まあ、全部だったろ？間違えてたろ？The attempt was hindered by 1番とかにもやるなのこれ。
So hinder means to
Ouch.
slow or difficult. Let's move on to the next word. We have triplets. Repeat the sentence after me. He's the man whose wife had triplets.
Is man whose wife had triplets last week.
Very good. Very nice. Okay. Do you understand these words?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. So let's keep moving on. Next we have is technically. And the example is, he is technically not one of our neighbors.
He's not technically not our neighbors.
Once again, he's technically not one of our neighbors.
He's not technically what was it? Not one of our neighbors.
Okay, very good. Next word is relative. So say the word after me. Relative.
Okay. Relative.
Very good. The example is the pilot whose relatives I know is Mr. Parker.
Oh, it's Mr. Parker. Mr. Parker is a Spider-Man's name.
The pilot whose relative I know is Mr. Parker.
The pilot whose relatives I know is Mr. Parker. No, Mr. Parker. My Spider-Man.
Lovely. So now let's move on to the next page.
Mr. Parker is.
Please read out the situation out loud and then I will play the story for you.
Okay.
So let's listen to the first conversation and then we will have some questions. So are you ready? Can I play it for you?
Oh, yes.
Okay, here we go. All the best.
Ashley, who has recently returned from a trip, is visiting Sarah for afternoon tea.
Have you heard about Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Johnson? Is he the one whose bank was robbed by some gang members?
Oh, that's Mr. Ashton, and their attempt was hindered by the police.
Really? That's Mr. Ashton. I must still be recovering from jet lag.
You may be. Mr. Johnson is the man whose wife had triplets last week.
Oh, that's Mr. Johnson. Then who is Mr. Parker? I often mix them all up.
He is technically not one of our neighbors. He is my sister Layla's neighbor, though.
Oh, okay. Mr. Parker is the pilot whose relative I know a little. He's an Englishman, right?
Yeah, you got that right. Anyway, let's go shopping for the Johnsons and their babies.
Okay, would you like to hear this again?
Oh, no, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So let's do a role play. This time I will be Sarah and you will be Ashley. Okay?
Okay.
So let's start. Have you heard about Mr. Johnson?
Have you asked Mr. Johnson?
You have to read Ashley.
Yeah. Mr. Johnson, is he the one who bank was robbed by some gang members?
Oh, that's Mr. Ashton. And their attempt was hindered by the police.
Oh, really? That's Mr. Ashton. I must still be recovering from jet lag.
Ha ha ha. You may be. Mr. Johnson is the man whose wife had triplets last week.
Oh, that's Mr. Johnson. Then who is Mr. Parker? I often mix them all up.
He's technically not one of our neighbors. He's my sister's Lila's neighbor, though.
Oh, okay. Mr. Parker is a pilot who related. I know a little. He's an Englishman, right?
You got that right. Anyways, let's go shopping for Mr. Johnson and their babies. Okay, well done. Good job. So now, this time, you will be Sarah and I will be Ashley. Let's do it again.
Okay.
So you start this
Have
time.
you heard about Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Johnson? Is he the one whose bank was robbed by some gang member?
Oh, that's Mr. Ashton. And their attempt was hindered by the police.
Really? That's Mr. Ashton? I must still be recovering from jet lag.
쟤들하고 그래? 기사거든요.
You must be Mr. Johnson is the man whose wife had triplets last week.
Oh, that's Mr. Johnson. Then who is Mr. Parker? I often mix them all up.
He is technically not one of our neighbors. He is my sister Layla's neighbor.
Though?
So,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Mr. Parker is the pilot whose relative I know a little. He's an Englishman, right?
yeah, you got that right. Anyway, let's go shopping for the Johnsons and their babies.
Good job. Well done. Fantastic. Okay, well, let's move on to the next page. We still have a little time. Let's see if you can answer these questions. So can you tell me, who is the man whose bank was almost robbed?
Mr. Ocean is the man whose bank was almost robbed.
Well done. That's right. Good job. Okay, next question. Who is Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Johnson is the man whose wife had triplets last week.
Perfect. Excellent. Very nice. And the last question is, who knows Mr. Parker's relative?
Ashley knows Mr. Parker's relative.
Well done. Very good. Fantastic. Lovely. Well, we only have 50 seconds left, so we can pause here. So do you have any questions from the lesson? Do you you have any questions from the lesson? Who are you playing
Oh
with?
God. No, I'm not playing.
What are you doing? Is
I'm
that your brother?
no. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right. Anyways, we have 10 seconds left. So thank you
And
for
here.
joining for the
Yeah.
lesson.
Bye.
And you have a
Goodbye
very
and
nice
have a nice day.
You too.